Hello everyone and aviators, this will be our first Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 video on how to fly a traffic pattern in Cessna-152 with classy gauges and in class Delta airspace and with the professional air traffic controllers and using all the necessary checklists to make your flight more professional as possible. So fasten your seatbelts and let's get on the ride. So before we do any flying, we always check acronyms and W craft, like NOTAMs, weather, sectional chart, runway lengths, and fuel requirements. Here is a little bit more thing, but I'm gonna skip here. Before we roll, we need to check weather. So I'm gonna fly a circuits on Ocala International Airport in Florida. Yeah, look at that. Some of the airport has V for VFR, I for IFR, and M for marginal VFR, and L for low instrument flight rules. Right now we are at the Ocala Kilo Oscar Charlie Foxtrot. So here we have the weather report. Wind is 140 at 5 and 23 is the temperature. Ceiling is for today 7,000 feet and altimeter setting is 3001 inches mercury. So let's take a look at METAR. So today we have two ceilings. One is scattered at 4,600 feet and second layer is 7,000 feet and the cloud is broken. In the METAR report, we have airport identifier, time in a Zulu, that's not a mean time, and the wind conditions, so visibility, and the sky conditions, and finally remarks. So now we have weather condition. Now we're gonna take a look at VFR sectional chart. So we are in the class Delta airspace, that's controlled airspace, and surrounded by class Echo airspace. Airport elevation is 90 feet MSL. A CTAF common traffic advisory frequency, and the longest runway is 7,400 feet, and the ceiling of class D is 1,500 MSL. Offers fuel services too. Alright, so let's get this on the road. Alrighty, so pre-flight inspection is completed and passenger is briefed and mobile phone is turned off and seat belts and shoulder harnesses are adjusted and fastened. Now obviously we want to set our parking brakes. Parking brake is set and we'll make sure all the avionics should be off and also all the circuit breakers should be in. You'll always move your finger through the circuit breakers and confirm that they are in. And next, fuel shuttle valve should be on. Before engine start checklist completed, and then we have engine start checklist. Make sure we'll be full reach all the way in. And the carburetor heat set cold. Now the batteries and alternatives should be both on. And now we're gonna start engine animals. For now, let's turn on the beacon lights is on, letting everybody we are in the aircraft, especially guys who are on the ground, so they can see we are in the aircraft. Now we're gonna put the key into the ignitions and open the throttle 1/4 inches. And now we're gonna confirm parking brake is set and on, and also we can prime the engine as needed. And next we make sure the propeller area is clear or nobody shouldn't cross the propeller area. Now we're gonna yell out of the window clear prop, and then we just start the engine, just turning around the keys, starter keys. There we go, engine is running. Now pulling out the mix a little bit and set throttle to the idle, which you can see in our RPM gauge. Or next thing, we're gonna check that all the temperature is rising, and also we're gonna make sure that emitter is charging, or we're gonna check visually and double check that flaps are fully up. Now I'm gonna turn on the radios and avionics. So frequencies and radios is set, and then we're gonna turn on the transponder to the standby, just to warm up a little bit. We got our ATC, weather information, double check weather. We have Bravo on board today, and the altimeter settings for today is 2986. Check simulator approach number 518 Foxtrot Tango and GR ramp with the VFR remaining in the pattern.
November 518 Foxtrot Tango, Jacksonville approach. Maintain VFR at below 3,500. Squawk 4273.
Maintain VFR below 3,500 and squawk 4275 in Foxtrot Tango.
And November 518 Foxtrot Tango, runway 18 taxi via Alpha.
18 taxi via Alpha, 18 Foxtrot Tango. Yeah, so we got our takeoff clearance, taxi and altitude restrictions. We're gonna commence taxi animates for now, just turn on the taxi lights. Alrighty, so we are at G ramp, ATC clearance, runway 18 via Alpha. Should we take Alpha 3 first? Parking brake list and test. Or clear left, clear right, and here we go. And you use your left and right rudder to steer the plane on the taxiways. And if there is a crosswind, then you use ailerons into the wind to mitigate the effect of winds, but that's another matter. Now I have to take a left on Alpha 3 and then join Alpha.
Tree 0 descending.
Alright, so we are about to join Alpha. Look at that, everything is so realistic. So stable, everything is so good. Don't have anything what to say. That's lovely. And this plane have a special place under my heart. Flying Cessna-152, it's pretty good. Yeah, and every student pilot start their training in the smaller aircraft. I can still remember those days. Okay, so need a hold short runway 18. Okay, we have a run up before takeoff checklist. We're gonna take a quick run up. Initially have to do set parking brake. And need to make sure our windows and door are closed and locked. Now the flight control check. Just move it all in every direction, same with the elevator and the ailerons. And next thing, trim wheel set on takeoff. Now the flight instrument need to be checked and set. That means airspeed indicator set on 0, attitude indicator on level and engaged, and check your altimeter setting, QNH, QFE, whatever on that day, and VSI should be on 0, and heading indicator or directional gyro should be on a runway heading. For the turn and the bank coordinator should be on center, and the ball roughly shown in the middle of the turn coordinator. So we are almost there. Now we're gonna set the throttle on 1700 RPM with the parking brake on. And we use actually RPM gauge to check our RPM settings. Now that's actually run up. And initially we do magnetos check, like right magnetos and both magnetos, left magneto, and then come back to both. And you check in the RPM gauge that RPM is dropping. And same thing with the carburetor heat, and check again the RPM whether it's dropping or not. Once you're done, come back to 1000 RPM. And next thing you gotta check that emitter is charging and all the engine instruments should be drained. And check the suction gauge for vacuum. And then set the throttle to the idle. And with the throttle friction lock adjusted, internal lights not required. Radios and avionics is set. On the tower frequency, because we are almost ready to go. Transponder should be on alt and the mixture should be on full reach. Now we're gonna make a call. Jackson approach 8 Foxtrot Tango, holding shot 18 ready to go.
November 8 Foxtrot Tango, make left close traffic, wind calm, runway 18 clear for takeoff.
Make left close traffic, runway 18 clear for takeoff 8 Foxtrot Tango. Alright, so we are clear for takeoff. Double check strobe and landing lights is on. Approach sector left and right is clear, and here we go.
Your cleared visual approach.
Runway 18 checked and confirmed. Flap set, carburetor heat cold, rotation speed is 55 knots, climb speed 65 and 75 knots. And normal takeoff checklist completed. Gradually add the throttle 50% and then fully 100. Better get call. Takeoff power set. And airspeed alive. 55. And gently rotate. Immediately adjusting pitch for VY 65 to 75 knots. Now I have to take a left turn in a crosswind leg within 20 degrees of bank. In a traffic pattern there is no need to exceed more than 20. If you want to trim for your best climb, then you can adjust your trim. So now we are 1000 feet above the AGL. Traffic pattern altitude at Ocala International Airport. Okay, so right now we can turn downwind. Okay, so we are flying the downwind leg right now. Have to fly a parallel in a downwind leg until I reach 45 degrees from the runway threshold, more or less from the numbers. Alright, so cruise checklist. Adjusting pitch for level flight. Power set to cruise. Trim wheel set. Mixture I don't want to land, that's full. And cruise checklist completed.
And November 8 Foxtrot Tango traffic is on short final runway 18A Cessna-152 report site.
Roger, looking for traffic at Foxtrot Tango. Traffic in sight at Foxtrot Tango.
Can't visual separation with that traffic.
Roger, and 8 Foxtrot Tango downwind for 18.
November 8 Foxtrot Tango, wind calm, runway 18, clear to land.
Clear to land 18 Foxtrot Tango. Pretty realistic. Lovely.
Jacksonville, Jacksonville departure, United 79.
Look at outside. It's amazing.
United 79, roger, turn.
Alright, speed in a green arc. A basic non-VFA, which you can fly in an aircraft with maximum flaps extended. Okay, so I have crossed the runway threshold and right now I'm dropping one notch of flap. We're gonna commence our base turn in a few minutes, so let's get ready for it. I'm currently flying toward north, almost 360 minus 19. It'll give us a heading toward the base flag, that is 270. So it's a time for just turn heading 270 toward the base flag. Using standard bank turn and keep the ball in the center of the turn coordinator.
That was my fault. Yeah, 79, roger.
And one more thing, you always need to think one step ahead, and you have to better get prepared for yourself what your next action will be. Situational awareness is first need. Okay, so being flying our base flag right now, dropping another notch of flaps. So whenever you transition from base to final, keep your bank limit 25 and 35 degrees.
And United 79, yeah, you can...
There we go, barely we are about to approaching final of our last leg of our traffic pattern.
We're descending now.
And that for sure I'm a little high. Dropping another notch of flaps, and before landing checklist items. Airspeed in the middle, 55 to 65 knots. Flaps, 30 degrees. Airspeed on the final approach. Normal landing checklist completed. Now I'm gonna focus descent 500 per minute, my airspeed indicator, altimeter, and adjusting pitch. Keeping your attitude indicator middle of the runway, in the center line. Cooling down for a little bit. Make a break in a descent rate, and now gently start flare. Don't let down, don't let down, don't let down, and touchdown. Wow, that was pretty good touchdown. And after landing checklist,
I'm sorry, I gave you that turn a little sharp. Let's make that
there we go. Engine height
20
set
degrees
to
left.
call, flaps fully up, and transponder set to standby. After landing checklist completed. Traction approach at Foxtrot Tango 18 wicket via Alpha 4 and hauling short Alpha 4.
November 8 Foxtrot Tango, roger, ramp by Alpha, thanks for flying.
Ramp via Alpha 8 Foxtrot Tango, see ya. Alright, so here we are at the ramp.
Radar contact.
Mixture need to be full in before we actually shut down. Make sure our parking brakes set and on. We don't need our radios, so radios and electrical off. Now we need to cut over our mixture, just pulling it out. By doing so, you almost kill the fuel. And that's actually way to turn it off. Keep in mind, don't turn your magnetos until the propeller stops spinning. Now apparently, the propeller is stopped and now you can turn off your magnetos. Now we can turn off alternative switches. Cross check one more time, that's all the electricals off, all the avionics and radios is off, nothing should be on. Now you can set your control locks and tie down the aircraft. So there you go. And make sure you take a last glance before leaving a plane. If everything seems good, now you can close your flight plan, get off and place the chocks.